Hey Reddit, I need some legal insight into a really frustrating and increasingly concerning situation with my next-door neighbor Dale, 50 I, 38F, live in a suburban neighborhood in Pennsylvania with a decent-sized, fenced-in backyard. About 6 months ago, Dale got a drone. Initially, it was just the occasional buzzing sound, which I could tolerate. However, over the past few months, his drone has been repeatedly landing in my backyard. At first, it seemed accidental. He'd come over, apologize half-heartedly, and retrieve it. I chalked it up to him being a clumsy new pilot, and tried to be understanding. There were a few times his grandkids were visiting, and I figured maybe they were the ones losing control of it. But it's happening more and more frequently. Now, it's almost a daily occurrence. Sometimes, it just hovers invasively close to my windows before clumsily bumping into the bird feeder or landing unceremoniously in my petunias. I've tried talking to Dale politely multiple times. The first few times, he was somewhat apologetic, but lately, he's become increasingly dismissive, saying things like, "It's just a drone, no big deal," or, "Relax, it's not spying on you. You think your boring life is that interesting?" The last time it landed, about 5 days ago, my dog, Buster, a very protective German Shepherd, got to it before Dale did. Buster didn't seriously damage it, just some scratches on the plastic casing and a cracked propeller. Dale went absolutely ballistic. He pounded on my door, yelling about property damage and accusing me of intentionally sicking my dog on his expensive equipment. He demanded I pay for the repairs, waving the damaged drone in my face. I refused calmly, though I was seething, pointing out that his drone shouldn't have been trespassing in my yard in the first place. He stormed off, muttering about calling the cops himself. Since that confrontation, the situation has definitely soured. 2 days ago, I found a small, dead robin lying in my yard near where the drone had landed earlier that morning. There were no obvious signs of trauma, but it felt unsettling, especially after Dale's aggressive behavior. Yesterday, as I was enjoying my morning coffee on my patio, Dale flew the drone incredibly close to me, hovering just a few feet away for an uncomfortably long time. The whirring blades felt menacing, and I felt genuinely intimidated. He just hovered there, silently, for what felt like an eternity, before slowly flying it back over his fence. I'm starting to feel like this isn't accidental anymore. It feels deliberate, like he's trying to annoy or even intimidate me. I've started meticulously documenting every incident with precise dates, exact times, detailed descriptions of where the drone landed or hovered, and any photos or videos I can capture. My phone is full of blurry shots of a white drone against the sky. What are my legal options here? Can I legally prevent his drone from entering my property or airspace? Is he liable for any damage his drone causes to my property, like my flower beds, or potentially for the dead bird, if there's any way to prove a connection? Should I file a formal police report, even if the initial interaction wasn't helpful? I'm feeling increasingly anxious and like my sense of peace and privacy in my own home is being eroded. Update 21 minutes ago. He's definitely recording me. This just took a really disturbing turn. About 15 minutes ago, I was in my backyard again, this time hanging laundry on the line. I heard the now familiar buzz of Dale's drone, and sure enough, it was hovering over my fence line, much closer than it has ever been. This time, there was no mistaking it. I clearly saw a small, high-definition camera lens pointed directly at me. It was actively recording my every move. I froze, feeling completely exposed and violated. I yelled at Dale, who was standing in his yard, to take it down immediately. He just smirked, gave me a thumbs up, and continued to pilot the drone, keeping the camera trained on me for a full minute or two before slowly flying it back over his property. I feel absolutely sick to my stomach. This isn't just annoying anymore, it feels like a deliberate and malicious invasion of my privacy. Is this even legal? Can he just openly record me in my own backyard like that? I feel like I can't even step outside without being filmed. I immediately went inside, my hands shaking, and called the non-emergency police line again. I was more insistent this time, emphasizing the recording. They said they would dispatch an officer to my location to take a statement and speak with Dale. I'm anxiously waiting for them to arrive now, peering out my window every few seconds. I'm so angry, upset, and frankly a little scared. This has gone way beyond a petty neighborly dispute. I feel like I'm being actively harassed and surveilled in my own home. Update 5 minutes ago, still feeling helpless after police visit. The police officer just left. He was a different officer this time, and he seemed a little more concerned after I explained the recording. He did go over and speak to Dale again. According to the officer, Dale admitted to flying the drone near my property but denied intentionally recording me, claiming he was testing the camera's range, and that it might have accidentally caught me. The officer explained the laws regarding privacy and recording, but ultimately said that without clear evidence of malicious intent or continuous, targeted harassment, it's still a difficult situation to address criminally. He reiterated the advice to put up no trespassing signs and suggested I look into seeking a civil order if the behavior persists. Honestly, I'm feeling incredibly frustrated and disheartened. No trespassing signs feel like a joke when he can just fly a drone over my fence. The idea of having to pursue a civil order against my next-door neighbor just to feel safe in my own yard is infuriating and feels like a huge, stressful undertaking. While the officer was here, Dale actually had the audacity to briefly hover the drone just above the fence line again, as if to taunt me. The officer saw it but said there wasn't enough to constitute immediate harassment in his view. He did give Dale a stern warning about respecting property lines and privacy. I feel like the police aren't taking the escalating nature of this seriously enough. They come, they talk, Dale makes some flimsy excuse, and nothing changes. What are my next concrete steps? Should I immediately consult with a lawyer specializing in property disputes or privacy law? Is there any other avenue I can explore? This is making me feel increasingly vulnerable and like I have no recourse. I just want to enjoy my backyard in peace.